Yo, yo, yo. Peace and love. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? Peace and love. Happy Tuesday. We are live, so it is indeed a happy day. But it's each day, as I always say, each day comes with challenges. This day is no different. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. Another episode of SRDaily, episode 650. Yesterday was real tough, emotionally, physically. Today is tough. We're gonna get through this shit. We got a show to talk about today. We got some things to talk about. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how just life throws you things, and you have the opportunity to navigate. You have the opportunity to shift, to adapt. You have the opportunity to change things up. You have the opportunity to learn new things, to grow. All right. There are moments in life that don't feel comfortable. The beautiful thing, though, right? One of the things that we could learn from the Knicks winning is that if you've done it before, you can do it again. All right. And every time you get in a familiar situation, if you've done it before, you know that you can do it again. Your brain knows that you can do it again, right? Like the Knicks, they will be losing, and they just knew that they could come back, right? So when they were down 29 against the Spurs, they knew that, okay, it wasn't the finals before, and it wasn't 29 points. It wasn't this team, but we've been down 22 points, and we came back and won, right? They did that against Cleveland. And so when they were down 29, they just knew, right? Your brain learns familiarity, and it does what it once did, right? It does it again. And so if you've been in any uncomfortable position before, if you've been down before, if you've lost before, if you failed before, if you felt like there was no way before, no hope before, but you have overcome and you're still here, that means that if you're experiencing that same thing now, or any other time that you experience something similar feeling, similar emotions, similar circumstances or situation, you know that you can get it together, right? Like, you know that you can come back. And that's where I'm at right now, right? Again, very uncomfortable situation. Definitely not feeling my best, but knowing that I've overcome before many challenges, and I will overcome again, right? Whatever the challenges may be, it doesn't matter how different they are, is challenge. Brain processes that, okay, we've done it before, let's look for our ways, let's look for our shit, right? What do we got to do? And let's dig ourselves up out of there. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with leaning into your previous experience, leaning into your prior experiences, because we have these experiences for a reason. We don't have these experiences just to have them, just to say, oh, I've been through some shit, just to say, oh, it's some tough shit. No, we have these experiences so that we can learn, that we can grow, right? And so that we can be examples for others, because there are other people in our lives. It could be our siblings, children, parents, spouses, cousins, friends, just people in the community, people we're on social media, people on social media who are going through things, and you sharing your journey, right? People knowing you, people seeing you, people hearing you, gives them evidence that they can overcome, gives them evidence that they can, right, like, rise up because you did it. And if one of us could do it, all of us could do it, right? As they say, if one of us got it, at least some of us got it. And if one person could overcome extreme circumstances, if one person could overcome fucking tough situation, if one person could endure, if one person can dig themselves out of a hole and turn nothing into something, then all of us have the same opportunity. The same opportunity is presented to all of us. Now, we all have different skill sets, we all have different passions, we all have different experiences that shape our mindset, that shape our skills, that shape our opportunities, right? That shape how we show up. But so long as, again, we are alive, man, so long as we are here, we have the opportunity. And what a blessing it is to be able to rise up. What a blessing it is to be able to level up, right? Just to have the opportunity to level up, right? Even if it doesn't seem good, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't look good. Just the opportunity alone is enough And so again, the one thing that the Knicks taught us, Jalen Brunson, he kept saying that we're thankful that the opportunity presented itself. We are thankful that the opportunity presented itself. These opportunities to grow don't always present themselves to folks, right? Like not in the way that you are presenting the opportunity, right? The Knicks were presented the opportunity to win the championship. Everybody didn't make it to the championship, of course. It was only 2 teams, right? People start the season with the same opportunity, but the different pieces, the different way things work, everyone doesn't get to the finish line. 2 teams made it to the finish line, right? In sports, it's 2 teams. In basketball, this year it was the Knicks and the Spurs with the opportunity to be champions. The Knicks, both teams were presented the opportunity. The Knicks seemed to work a little bit harder, right, when it mattered most, to secure the opportunity and to ensure that they came out victorious, right? But yeah, man, once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. Episode 650 of SRDaily. As I've mentioned many times before, that there are days when I wake up and I don't want to do the show. Today is one of those days where I do not want to do the show. All right, but we're gonna do it. Episode 650. We're 50 episodes away from 700. And I got goosebumps because like I'm in a space in my life of reevaluating some things, man. Some things, right? Like I'm at a crossroads between my love for community and my desire and my need to build a global brand, global business, right? Big business. That's where I'm at. I mentioned before many times that historically the last 19 years, the great majority of the last 19 years have been spent just finding myself, learning the ropes, so to speak, right? Like it's a long time to fucking learn, but learning the ropes of community, of activism. And I thought I was gonna go this direction, that direction, but life is leading me in a completely different direction than what I thought. But it's all about healing and it's all about human development, right? But that's very different than simple activism or media or advocacy or anything like that, right? That takes a different level of discipline, a different level of focus. So yeah, man, this is an uncomfortable space, but it's a good space to be in. It's a necessary space to be in because it is fostering growth, it is fostering transformation, and wherever you are in your life, right? Like, or if there's a space in your life where you are at a crossroads, right? Trust the process, be patient, don't make decisions in haste, right? As the saying goes, haste makes waste. So don't make decisions in haste. Don't make decisions out of fear. Don't make decisions out of desperation. All right, make decisions from a place of calm, a place of peace, a place of stillness, right? A place of a place of calm. That's what you want to make your decisions from, a place of calm, especially big decisions. The small decisions, like you'll make all of them from a place of calm, but the big ones especially, because the big ones have the opportunity to change everything for the positive and for the negative. You think it can't get no worse? It can. Right? You think it can't get no worse? It can absolutely get worse. It can always be worse, regardless to how fucked up your situation may be, regardless to what's going on in your life, regardless of how many people you done lost that you loved. You can lose more people that you love. You can be more fucked up in life. Your health could be fucked up. You could be more unhealthy. All right, your living situation can be fucked up. You could have no living situation. Right? Like it could always be worse. And so it is very important to be grateful for where you are, and to again not make decisions hastily. But let's get to the show. We do got some notes we want to go through today. Once again, episode 650, Tuesday, Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. It is June 16th. It is actually Tupac's birthday, right? June 16th. Shout out to Pac, birthday boy, right? One of the music artists, one of the humans who influenced me as a youth, all right? Yeah, man, one of the people whose music saved my life. As crazy as some of the music was, it definitely gave me an outlet to yell, to scream, to shout, to get some of that energy out when I was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on, right? So yeah, happy birthday, Tupac. May his spirit live on and rest peacefully. I remember reading some of his writings when I was in prison. I remember learning about his life in depth, right, when I was a teen. Shout out to the teen program I was in, who gave us the platform, gave us the structure to study, to research, and to learn from people who we may never meet. All right. That was a powerful and a necessary groundwork, right? Framework to study folks, right? And to learn from folks, right? As I mentioned on the show before, like you can have mentors who you never met through music, through film, through lectures, right? Through their books. You can learn from so many people who you have never met. You can learn so many things. You can learn what to do, what not to do. You can learn how to navigate certain specific situations. You can learn mindset, right? So many things you can learn, man. So yeah, happy birthday. Let's pull up these notes. Let's get to it. We're gonna start with our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is the quote of the day. Today's quote is, "It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all." And this is a fucking classic line. This is a classic. Most people say this in regards to romantic love, and I fully get that. And I'm saying this at this time regarding passions, hobbies, and things like that. Try things, right? Do shit with passion, do shit with love, do them for as long as they bring you joy and fulfillment and make you feel good. It is so much better to explore your passions and give yourself a shot than to sit back simply dreaming that one day, or dreaming, and then, right, because you dream and then you dream and then you just dream and then you just dream. And then if you don't act on it, right, if you don't pursue those passions, if you don't pursue those dreams, you don't act on those dreams, eventually one day you start hoping and wishing of what could have been. So it is better to explore all the shit, man, even if it doesn't work. It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. It is better to have explored a passion. It is better to have tried some shit and it not work out than to not try some shit and then you hope and wish. What if? And again, this is all if you know me, I'm a Pisces, man. I could be like this elusive person, but I choose not to be, right? I choose to be my full self as much as I possibly can and show up with where I'm at. I don't put on fronts, act like I'm in a certain space that I'm not. Right, this is the space that I'm in right now, right? Like thinking about these things, feeling these things, right? But yeah, like regret. For me, my fear of regret is far greater than my fear of failure. I have no problem failing. I have no problem trying some shit. I'm inspired to do some shit. I try some shit. It don't work. I try it until spirit says, all right, do something different. Right. But yeah, man, let's go to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, I mean, as always, our second segment is our need to know news of the day. We're gonna go to today's news. Hold on, we gotta pull up an article because today's news. Hold on one second. Let's move this over here. Today's news is national. And as I read this article, it was funny is not even a word. This shit is crazy in America. And there's so much news. There's so much shit going on, right? Like, it's so much shit. It's a lot of positive. I like to switch it up, talk about the shit that's challenging, the shit that's troubling, the shit that may be tragic, and the shit that is both, positive as well, positive and beautiful. This is just some shit that's like positive or negative. I don't fucking know. It's just crazy. So today's news, Trump judge orders the Trump administration to restore signs change at national parks. Updated June 13th. So this was Saturday. And if you know that Trump has since being in office, Trump has changed a lot of signs at national parks, man. Like, shit is crazy. This guy really has a problem. Maybe it's not a problem, right? It's a problem to me. It's maybe a problem to us, but to him, some others, it's not a problem. Maybe it's him doing the right fucking thing. Anyway, a federal judge in Massachusetts has ordered the Trump administration to restore all signs that were changed or removed at national parks across the country as part of President Donald Trump's controversial directive last year. In a scathing 63-page ruling on Friday, Judge Andrew Kelly wrote, under the guise of promoting American dignity, this administration seeks to share a limited history by ordering the removal of all signs, displays, and interpretive exhibits at national parks that do not align with its preferred narrative, thereby telling half-truths. Kelly, an appointee of President Joe Biden, ordered that the restoration be complete by July 3rd, ahead of the nation's 250th birthday. In the ruling, she also blocked the Trump administration from making any further changes to exhibits at national parks. Like, I mean, this is America, right? And I guess anybody could do anything. And clearly, if you're the president, you could do any fucking thing, I guess, right? Because, like, why the fuck would you remove the signs of national parks? I mean, we know why, right? To tell half truths, as Judge Kelly has said. This shit is crazy, though. In a statement on Saturday, an Interior Department, hold on, ads popped up. And in a statement on Saturday, an Interior Department spokesperson called Kelly a liberal activist judge and suggested that the department could appeal the ruling. The department will look at our appeal options while we celebrate UFC Freedom 250 on the South Lawn of the White House this weekend in honor of our nation's 250th with the greatest president in the history of our country, President Donald J. Trump, the statement read. Yo, and there's a lot of people that feel that way. And they have their reasons. And this is why, for me, arguing about certain things, like debate, cool, like share perspectives, cool, but to argue and which is just sharing two perspectives, right? So a debate is an argument, right? Maybe not seen as quote unquote hostile, where most arguments, quote unquote, right, are thought to be. But this shit is hilarious, right? the White House, they had UFC and people was fighting. People were fighting on the White House lawn. This shit is crazy. The greatest president. Yo, Friday's ruling comes as part of a lawsuit filed by a coalition of conservationists and advocates in February against the Interior Department and the National Park Service that accused the administration of mounting a sustained campaign to erase history and undermine science. In March 2025, Trump signed an executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, which directed the Interior Department to take action against public content that inappropriately disparage Americans past or living. What he doesn't want is the true history. He doesn't want people to find out that America is a racist country. He doesn't want people to know, right? Not even to find out, to know, and to continue to be reminded of how racist this country is and how Eurocentric this country is, right? Shit crazy. Under the directive, at least 45 signs that covered topics ranging from climate change to Native American history were altered, according to Save Our Signs, an advocacy group that tracks changes to NPS National Park signs displays. In one example cited in the February lawsuit and referred to in Friday's ruling, a marker at Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming that pointed out 19th century explorer Gustavus Cheney Doan's role in the massacre of at least 173 members of the Pigeon Blackfeet was removed. He doesn't want people to know that type of shit. At South Carolina's Fort Sumter National Monument, a sign that included details on the looming impact of climate change, including information on how rising seas could inundate most of the fort's walls and flood the historic parade ground, was removed in its entirety. Insane. Alan Spears, the senior director for cultural resources at the National Parks Conservation Association, one of the groups that filed the February lawsuit, celebrated Friday's ruling, telling CNN it's a big damn deal. This is, we think, a good, favorable, just ruling from the judge that puts a stop, at least temporarily, to the sanitization, censorship, and softening of history as it's told in our national parks. Spears said. He added that the ruling would allow national park visitors to go back to business as usual, which is getting the full scope of American history from our national parks and the interpretation that our parks provide. Spears went on to describe national parks as one of the largest stewards of American history and culture in the country. So when you start messing around with the kind of interpretation that the Park Service is able to provide, that's a problem, because they've been working throughout their history, but specifically over the last 30 years, to tell stories that are more accurate, more just, and more inclusive, so that we can inspire more people to care about our parks, to care about the history of this country, and to become better stewards of the land, Spears added. Kelly, in her ruling, similarly stressed the educational role of national parks, describing them as a cornerstone of public learning. Facts. Often referred to as America's largest classroom, national parks serve in that spirit by telling the stories both of those who write history and those who go unheard. Kelly wrote, "The beauty of history is the unvarnished storytelling of a time gone by and the delivery of undeniable truths." She added, "The government stewardship of these park sites thus carries a responsibility to present history in full rather than in favored fragments. Unfortunately, the government has disregarded these principles." Shit, that's some powerful shit, man. That's some necessary shit. Mona Love, baby girl, happy Tuesday, Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. Um, Said Tupac's album "Me Against the World" had a strong effect on me. I am thankful for that album. Artists have the power to inspire. "Me Against the World" is definitely my favorite Tupac album. Um, yeah, "Me Against the World" was incredible. "Tupacalypse Now" was good. "Strictly for My Niggas" was good. Obviously, "All Eyes on Me" was double album platinum, right? Not "Me Against the World." "Machiavelli" platinum, right? And then all the other albums that came after his transition, his death, his murder. But yeah, "Me Against the World" was fire. Absolutely, that was my album. That was my album. Let's go to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment tip of the day. Today's tip is to take a proper assessment of how you are spending your time. Take a proper assessment of how you are spending your time. Ask yourself if what you're doing is working for you. Ask yourself if what you are doing, how you are spending your time, is working for you. Know the measures by how you will determine if it's working or not. And if it is not working, do not be afraid to switch it up and do something different. Right? Take a proper assessment of how you are spending your time. Ask yourself if what you are doing is working for you. Know the measures by how you will determine if it's working or not. Because it could be making money, but not be working, right? Because it's not bringing you fulfillment. It's not making you feel good. It's stressing you out, right? It could be making you feel good, but not bringing you money. Is it working for you? You got to know what's working for you. And you got to take a proper assessment. I am taking a proper assessment of how I'm spending my time, asking myself if what I'm doing is working for me, right? And so this is something that, again, I like to always share from real experience, real life, and it's something that I think more of us need to do. It's proper assessment of how we're spending our fucking time, man, because time is the one thing that you do not get back again. Do the things that you love, be passionate, and be aware, right? Be honest, because just because something worked for you yesterday doesn't mean it's working for you today. Just because something is working for you today, something you're enjoying doing today and is beneficial, doesn't mean it will work tomorrow. So we always constantly have to be taking an assessment, right? Taking proper assessment of how we're spending our time. Time is the most valuable resource. It's the one that you can't get back. It's the one that like health, you can get ill, you can get healthy, right? Health is the most important thing. Health is wealth. They say you got you got a million problems until you got a health problem, and then you only got one problem. And that's a fact. It's something I can attest to as someone who has had some physical health challenges. I've never really had or even physical. I've never had organ stuff or anything like that. Hurt back, right? That caused some extreme discomfort years ago, and that every so often, depending on how I move, could cause some discomfort, some pain. And then that becomes the most important thing, right? Not all the other stuff that you may be worrying about, that I may be worrying about, becomes the fucking back, the health problem, right? So very, very, very aware. So health, yes. Time, immeasurable. You really can't measure time, right? Because you don't know how much more you have. You don't know. None of us knows. Wake up today and slip, trip, fall, choke, chickpea, a thousand ways to die was a show for a reason. So I would encourage everyone to spend their time, to invest their time as wisely as they possibly could, doing the things that they really love, doing the things that work for them, right? Again, you could and working for you may not work for other people, and what works for others may not work for you. You may be perfectly okay with living for today, right? And not giving a damn about tomorrow. If that's working for you, and if you're fulfilled, you're happy, regardless how other people feel. This is not other people's life. Even if you have other responsibilities, it's not other people's life. It's your life. Your life, your life, your life, right? You gotta do what works for fucking you. That's we're gonna leave that one there, man. Please take a proper assessment, all right? Because one thing that I've experienced in life and talking to folks is a lot of folks wish they could have did something different. Wish they would have did something different, right? As opposed to, I did that thing. I did what my heart wanted me to do. I did what my spirit called me to do. And if it worked, great. If it didn't work, great. At least I gave it a shot. At least I tried. As opposed to not doing it because of how you be perceived, of your own perception of yourself, right? And then later on you wish, damn, what if I would have tried that thing? I wonder what would have happened. You can't go back. And so that takes us to our fourth and final segment of the day. Before we get out of here, our build of the day. Today's build is 3 words, man. We're gonna build on these 3 words. Focus, focus, focus. Focus on your shit. Focus on what you got to do for you. Yes, be aware of what's going on around you, but know what is inspiring you versus what is just distracting you. And as some say, sometimes you don't need more inspiration. You don't need more knowledge. You don't need more of all that shit. You just need to fucking act and focus. So you need to get really focused. You need to lock in. And this is the message 100% for me. You get really fucking focused, lock in, and do what you got to do for you. Right? Do what you got to do for you. And that's the build. And so the question then becomes, what's stopping us from focusing? There's distractions, and fucking distractions. So figure it out and get the fucking job done, man. Focus, focus, focus. That is a message 100% for me, and for me. It's a focus, to fucking focus. Because again, like time, once the time has gone by, you can't go back to yesterday. You can't go back to last week. You can't rewind. You can't say, let me get that hour back. I spent that hour wrongly. Let me get that shit back. Let me do it again. No, you can't do that hour again. You can't do that day again. You can't do that year again. Can't go back to when you was 38, and no matter how much you wish you could, no matter how much, no, not in this paradigm, right? There is a space, there is, excuse me, there is a space in this universe where time travel is real. In this dimension, with this body, in this space, is, yeah. So, yeah, man. All right. Let's focus up, y'all. Let's focus up. We only got one life. We only got this moment. If we are fortunate enough to see another moment, to see the next hour, to see the next 6 hours, to see the next day, to see the next week, to see the next month, to see the next year, if we are fortunate enough to see that, then we got to do the same thing we're doing in this moment, which is to focus, which is to do what works for us, which is to commit all of our energy to living out our dreams, to making our life something that's worthwhile to us, right? To us. And then to also have the mind and the heart for those behind you, your children, your grandchildren, and work to put them in a better position, right? And again, if that's not something that you want to do, then like by all means, even if other people's lives get tougher, you got to do you. You got to do you, but in order to really do you, you got to know what works for you. In order to really know what works for you, you got to get silent. You got to get silent. You got to get quiet. You may got to do some fasting, right? You got to let some shit go, man. But listen, man, that's our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your boy, your host, Sean Sugar Martin. This is episode 650 of SRDaily. We're 50 episodes away from 700. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy this Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of this week. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course, TikTok Live. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other. And remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. Power is in you. Peace and love.